Welcome to Web3 Women. Okay, well, hi everyone. My name is Olayinka. I am the founder of Black Women Blockchain Council, who's bringing you Web3 Women. We're bringing you this in order for you all to be introduced to the women that are in this space that are building. This is a spin-off of our International Women of Blockchain event, and we want to make sure that you tap in and understand that women are building this space, and we're building it in silos sometimes, but also we're shouting it out into the universe that we're here. We're going to be loud, and we're going to be celebrating our involvement in this blockchain ecosystem.
Well, I'm Tam. I am a member of the Black Women Blockchain Council, and I was asked to be a board member by Yinka following our our celebration of women in blockchain. And I was too excited to be able to do it because I have learned so much just during that event, and being able to continue forward and being able to continue to educate more people about the space. It really gets me excited. And I'm a self-proclaimed Bitcoin education enthusiast, and and I just want other people to understand, like, not just Bitcoin, but blockchain, the technology that we have, the space that we're developing. I'm excited to celebrate women. I'm excited to talk about the news. I'm excited about everything that we're going to offer.
As you guys all know, I'm more into the technology. And for me, the technology means everything. It's cryptocurrencies, NFTs, it's even stuff that we have not built yet. Yeah. And we're going to talk about all of those stuff here in this Web3 Women podcast that we're bringing to you all. It's very important, and I think Tam mentioned the word community. Community is very important. There's a wealth of community that are all female based, and these females, as I mentioned before, they're building. So we're going to give you the perspective of women in this community who are building and what we're thinking, and we're lending our voices to what's happening in this space. So I'm excited about that.
Me too.
Tam, we got a couple of hot topics to talk about.
We have a lot of things to talk. We have a lot of things to talk about. That's going to be part of what we bring, right? We're going to talk about hot topics. We're going to talk about new technologies that are built on the blockchain that are emerging. We're going to introduce you guys to some people, some women who are the change makers in this space. Who are creating these things, and we're going to get a chance to interview some of them, and I know that's going to be dope, because if it's anything even as remotely how it was when we had the Black Women Blockchain International Conference, listen, it's going to be like amazing. And I know that more people are going to be excited about it. We're going to educate. Right. And that's like really what I'm excited about, because I love telling people about, like, what I learned, and like, seeing if I really learned it by educating other people. So, yeah, we got a lot of things that we're going to cover in this podcast. But hot topics, of course, because everybody wants to know what's going on. You read the news, you hear the news lines. Somebody told you, oh, Bitcoin is going to zero. You're like, what does that even mean? All right. So taking the time for us to really explain some of these things is going to be, I think, vital for the mass adoption that we know is coming, right? Because it's coming. It's here. Technology is here to stay, right? I've been saying this, that we don't go backwards when technology is introduced, right? We build on it, we change it, and the world keeps going forward. So understand first that this is a technology, right? And so because that is true with technology, this space is here to stay, and you got to know about the hot topics in it. So how about we get started with one of them? Yinka, what do you got for us today?
And you know what? I think the hot topic right now should be focused more on what happens in a bear market. How do people behave, right? A lot of people enter this space because someone introduced them to crypto, and because, NFTs were hot. I mean, they're still hot to some degree, but they were really hot, right? And so people wanted to jump in hoping that they make a couple of bucks, maybe.
Right. People heard that people out here just becoming millionaires, thinking overnight, and they were like, I need that. Let me get in here. How much you say I need? I need $5. But like, so Yinka, then can you explain to us what is a bear market? Like, what does that mean? What is that? And why is it important that we know that this is where we're at?
A bear market typically happens when either stock prices are going down, and now we've dubbed bear markets for cryptocurrencies as well. So essentially, when cryptocurrencies are going down, and so it just means that the market is going down, the value is going down. And a lot of people assume that when we're in a bear market, this is a time to sell. They couldn't be more wrong. Now, this is not financial advice, but typically the best time to purchase when you are in a bear market, because that means the prices are low. Prices are low, and you want to buy low so that eventually you can sell high, right? A lot of people heard about how people were able to purchase a certain type of cryptocurrency at a particular time frame, and then when it went up in value, they're now millionaires, right? Guess what? Those individuals purchased it when it was low. They did not purchase it when all the FUD and the influencers were
the FOMO was hitting the streets.
Right? They purchased it when nobody was looking. And so that's really what happens at a bear market. Is an opportunity for people to start assessing the cryptos that they have or that they want, and start essentially, after they've done their due diligence, start purchasing it, so that, when it does become a bull market, bull means that it's running, it's going high, it's going fast, the value is increasing, that, you're able to consider selling it if you want, or maybe you hold on to it and experience that unrealized gain.
Right. So for me, the way I've understood it, just for layman's terms, because I'm not, again, not that financial person, right? But I like to make things make sense to me. So for me, I think like, what do bears do? Bears hibernate, right? That's one thing we know bears eat and then they sleep for a long time in the wintertime when the conditions are rougher, right? Cold out here, and then nobody's making money, people aren't making it, so it's a little cold out here, right? So think of what the bears do. The bears are hibernating, right? They're waiting for the springtime. They're waiting for the energy to come back to the earth, right? So that's what people are doing in the bear markets. Like, we're seeing it go down. We're seeing the seasons around us change, so we take on a bear personality. Some people, for them, that means in their cryptos, they hold them. Right. Some people thought, like you said, they think that it means it's a time to sell it. If that's what you do, that's what you do, but you don't understand, kind of the market, right? But then when we get to that bull side, right? Now the bulls are out here, like you said, they're running wild, and bulls, they just go. So a lot of the conversations kind of change per the market we're in,
yes,
right? Does. So a lot of times in the bull markets, we hear the FOMO, like the fear of missing out, right? So people are like, oh, get into this, get into this, get into that, get into this, hurry, right? And then in the bear market, for me, I feel like it's a lot of FUD, right? A lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And so because people are so fearful, they're uncertain what's going to happen. They're doubting what they knew before about a project. They tend to get scared, and they kind of back away.
No, that's perfect. That is perfect. We broke it down to a level where everyone can now understand what's the difference between a bear and a bull market. And I hope that you guys got that. And if you didn't, rewind so you could get it. Right. Now, let's go to some tips. So Tam, what tips do you have for people so that they can be able to navigate through this space better?
Well, I am an avid reader and a self-proclaimed nerd about anything that I'm interested in. So
we love nerds.
So my thing that I'm going to have to give you guys some tips on, I'm going to give you some reading tips, okay? Some reading tips, some things that you can tap into so that you can begin your own self-paced research and in a way that hopefully is accessible to everyone. So the first reading tip I have, okay, for anybody that is interested in this market, I would say invest in a platform that allows you to listen to audiobooks, okay? Because maybe you're not a reader like me, right? But audiobooks is a good way to still get the information, to have it read out loud to you, to where you can at least know some of the concepts. So first of all, get yourself an audiobook subscription, or there are also free websites that you can find where you can look up some of the books I'm going to give you. So the first book that I would like to tell people to tap into is actually Blockchain Basics. All right. This book, I enjoyed it because what it does is it gives a good foundation on what blockchain is. Now, this book, it does a really good job to me of explaining just the technology in very layman's terms. So once you have a good foundation with the blockchain technology, the second thing that I would suggest you do is, because it's just in the news, you hear it all the time. It is literally the one of one, so nothing else has mimicked it. So it's another good place to start, is the Bitcoin standard, right? Understanding about Bitcoin and doing that through the Bitcoin standard. The author's name of that is Saifedean. I'm gonna butcher it, but you can Google it, the Bitcoin standard. It's literally on every platform. And the thing I like about the Bitcoin standard is that it gives a good history, a good brief history of how we got to the monetary system that we're in right now. And in order to understand why we're talking about cryptocurrencies, you got to understand how we got here. I was one of those people that, I understand that at one point, like, we bartered and then we stopped bartering and we made money and now we use money. It's that simple, but it's really not that simple, right? So it points out some really key historical elements that point out to how we got to the monetary system we're in. Then it takes a really good deep dive into Bitcoin and what it actually does. And then it gives you how that the past, our present that we're dealing with, and Bitcoin, how they all come together and like why it's important. Now, those are two really good books that I like to recommend people to start out with if you want to get interested, you want to get into this space. That's my tips.
Man, those books are fantastic. Those books will definitely give you the solid foundation that you need to understand what this space is about and why it's a valuable space for you to tap into and get involved in. So definitely take those suggestions. You know what? I love all the tips, but now it's time for us to say goodbye.
We gotta go.
We want you to join us again next time. Make sure you're subscribed. Web3 Women will be brought to you frequently by Black Women Blockchain Council, and you'll see Tam and I very often with some other guests in this space. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Tam, last words.
Last words. Do your own research. That's all I say. Do your own research. Thank you again, Yinka, for the opportunity. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We look forward to getting your questions. Feel free to message us. Feel free to leave us comments below if you have questions about technology, anything that you want us to cover. We love hearing from you guys, so feel free to tap into us, and we'll be back.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.